everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a bit of a doozy. A lot of people have been doing this thing where they review like every Animal Crossing villager. I'm not going to be doing that, but I am going to be drawing my top 6 Animal Crossing villagers in my style and then as humans. So right now I've started off with number 6 or 5. The bottom 2, 5 and 6 I did as one drawing because I wanted to just do top 5, but I couldn't decide between the two. So let's see, can you guess who this villager is? It's Poncho. Poncho's in my top 6 because of kind of like a fond memory I have. I played Animal Crossing for the GameCube from the time I was in 6th grade all the way up till present. And when I was in college, my roommate decided to start a little house in my Animal Crossing village for the GameCube. And Poncho was a villager that we both really liked, and we would talk about Poncho, and we just thought everything he did was so cute. So Poncho makes it into the top 6 because of those fond memories. He is really cute, but I like his simple design too. He's not like super crazy with an elaborate design, and I like that about him. Over here, this young lady we have is Ketchup. Now, to be honest, I don't remember which of my Animal Crossing games Ketchup was in, but I know that I've had her as a villager before. I just think she's cute, obviously. She's got a cute little theme. She looks like a tomato with her little green hair and her red feathers, I guess. I don't know. The ducks don't really look like they have feathers, but I guess they do. That's what that is. So I really like her color scheme, and she is one of the peppy villagers, and I really like that villager type for the girl villagers. My 2 favorite girl villager types are definitely peppy and normal. If you don't know, there's 8 different villager types. In English, we would say there's the sisterly type. They're like the kind of blunt ones. I wouldn't say rude, just blunt. And then there's snooty, who are kind of condescending. And there's peppy. They always talk about wanting to be a pop star. And then there is normal, which is just normal. They're just nice, I guess, would be the way I would describe the normal villagers. They're just nice. In the original Animal Crossing, they kind of come across as like shy. I guess that's how I would describe the normal villagers, as being kind of shy and bashful and meek. So I definitely like the normal villagers, and especially in the original Animal Crossing. So for these 2 characters, the ones that I do in my style, it's basically just exactly how they look in the game, just the way I would draw them, which is not that different from how they appear in the game because my style is simple and their designs are simple. But for Poncho, you can see here I'm giving him kind of a darker skin tone. Poncho is kind of like a South American, Latin American, Hispanic sounding name, so I decided to make him a little darker complected. And I also made him a little chubby boy because honestly Poncho's personality comes across like that of a little chubby boy. So that's what I made my Poncho. And then for Ketchup, she's a peppy character. I decided to make her look peppy. She's kind of, I don't know, pop star looking. You'll see like they kind of have these default clothes that like when they show up in your town for the first time, these are the clothes that they're wearing. And Ketchup's shirt is like this really cute blue shirt with roses on it. Like if you look up Ketchup, all of her default images have her in that rose shirt. And it's like very bright and vivid and kind of busy, but I like that. And it suits this human version I did of her, where she's kind of looking very colorful and bright. I gave her green hair. I didn't want her to look like the Joker, so I didn't pull out like the red from her feathers for her lipstick, but instead I used an orangey color to kind of simulate her duck bill. And I gave her kind of big, full, duckish lips, and I thought it was cute to do it that way. And then for her skirt, I kind of pulled that design that she has off of her tummy, and I actually think it's really cute. Like, if those types of skirts, like a tight mini skirt, looked good on me, I would really like to have that. I gave her a subtle blush on the cheek to kind of simulate that little blush that Ketchup has, and we're basically wrapping up here. So there's Poncho and Ketchup. Okay, here is number 4 getting started. And he's kind of basic, and I don't mean like his design is basic. I mean, I think that he's basic in that a lot of people really like this villager. And just now you can probably already guess who it is. This is Lucky. I don't have a long history with Lucky. He's not ever been in any of my villages before the newest game, Animal Crossing New Horizons. Lucky I found on a Mystery Island tour, and I invited him to come back to my island with me as soon as I saw him. I thought he was very cute and unique, and his design is kind of mummy-ish, and it suits his name Lucky because, like, it's ironic, like he's dead or injured and he's all wrapped up in bandages, but his name is Lucky. It's very cute. I love irony. In his, like, default images, like, if you look up Lucky, he's wearing, like, a number 23 shirt. But when he showed up to my village in New Horizons, he was wearing like a collared red shirt. So when I drew the little Lucky as a dog, I drew him in the red shirt rather than the number 23 shirt. But in the human version, I gave him the number 23 shirt. For the human redesign of Lucky, I decided not to make him a mummy because I think that's kind of boring, and I wanted to reimagine him as a human. So what I did is he's kind of maybe like a teenager-aged person. Lucky's a lazy dog, so I feel like a teenager kind of suits that. Like, the stereotype is that, like, teenagers are lazy. And basically, for all of his, like, mummy bandages, I decided to draw him as though he'd, like, been in an accident of some sort, and maybe his friends call him Lucky because he didn't die. I don't know. But he's got a cast on one arm, the other arm is wrapped up in bandages. He's got like one of those physical therapy boots on one leg, and then the other leg is wrapped up like the arm. He's got a couple bandages on his face, and just like how with Lucky, the Animal Crossing villager, only one eye is exposed, I did the same thing for my human Lucky. I have his like bangs covering up one of his eyes so you can only see one, and I didn't give him a yellow eye like his design is in the game. I drew his eye closed like he's laughing because Lucky is kind of, he's a lazy villager, but he's cheerful seeming. He's very cute and funny to me. That's why I like him so much, is because he's cute and funny. I really like the lazy villagers. So for like the boy villagers, my two favorite kinds are lazy and cranky, and so I wanted to kind of draw this lazy guy kind of being cute and funny the way I experience them in the game. And like I said, Lucky, I've not had a long history with him. I think if I had him in previous games, he might have been ranked more highly than number 4 out of these top 6. But since I've only ever had him in New Horizons, I decided to rank him at this level. And I'm really glad he's in my village. And there is the finished drawing. I actually really liked how this one turned out. I think that I got his personality pretty closely. Alright, and moving on to number 3. This character I have had in my New Leaf village. That's the only time that I've ever had this villager, but she's lived there the whole time. She was one of my original starting villagers, and she has not moved out. So she is a normal type villager, and if you can't guess yet, this is Gala. Gala is a little pink piggy. She's very cute and simple looking. She looks exactly how you would imagine a cute little girl piggy to look, and I like that about her. I actually think of all of my human redesigns, she might be my favorite because I feel like she looks the part the most, because like I said, the normal villagers are very sweet and kind of shy, and I feel like my human reimagining of Gala kind of looks really sweet and shy. I drew her on the bigger side because the pig type in Animal Crossing is kind of a thicker, chubbier villager. Like the mice, for example, are kind of slender and thin, like they're tiny, obviously. Whereas like hippos and rhinos and pigs are kind of larger villagers. That's one thing I like about Animal Crossing is the size variation with the villagers. Like some of your villagers are really small little creatures and some are kind of big and chunky. So I like that variation. I really don't normally like the pig villagers. I have Agnes right now in my New Horizons town, and I like her okay. She's growing on me. I've had Chops in the past. If you know what Chops looks like, he's got like this little gross dirty mustache. He's kind of posh looking, I guess. I don't know. But like I feel like Gala's design just really works. Like she's adorable. She's got these giant blue eyes with these, you know, cute luscious eyelashes, and she wears like a little flower crown. It's a part of her design. So no matter what else she might be wearing, she's always going to have that little flower design on one of her ears. And I just think she's really precious. I think she's really super sweet, and her house is really interesting. I think in the current game and in the previous game of New Leaf, she's kind of got like this bank theme going on. In New Leaf, it was more subtle. She just had piggy banks around. But I think if you have her in your New Horizons village, she has kind of like a full lockdown safe thing going on. So she may look sweet and shy, but girl's got her money together. Like she's got it. She's got it. One of the things that's fun about doing these reimaginings is picking out their human hair color. I think that Gala would be blonde, but do you agree with my judgment call on that? Would you imagine her with a different hair color? And with that, she's just about done. Here she is. And before we move on to the final two, I want to do really quickly a couple of honorable mentions that didn't quite make the cut for this video. You'll see a theme with the three male villagers. They're all cranky type. Butch, Groucho, and Wolfgang are all the cranky type. And Olivia, Peanut, and Vesta. Olivia gets on the list because of a relationship she has with this villager that I'm drawing right here. She was this villager's neighbor in my GameCube file, and they really seem to get along well with each other. I kind of, in my head, as a young kid, imagined, oh, they date each other. They're both cats. And if you haven't guessed, my number 2 villager of all time is Kabuki. I have had Kabuki in every single Animal Crossing game village I've had. So I've had him in the GameCube version, I've had him in Wild World, I have had him in New Leaf, and New Horizons is the only game that I've not had Kabuki join my town. and I kind of miss him. And if I ever come across like an amiibo card of Kabuki, I think I'll probably wind up inviting him to join me, just because he's so weird looking. He obviously is based off of, like the Japanese Kabuki theater face makeup stuff. Like that's what his design looks like. And it's very different. I wouldn't say he's particularly cute, but he is really interesting and unique. I will say with Animal Crossing, I still like the more recent titles of New Leaf and New Horizons, but my biggest complaint is with the cranky villagers. They are not cranky anymore. They're always in a good mood as far as I'm concerned. At most, you could say that they seem old, like they're older acting. In my current New Horizons game, I have the villager Grizzly, who is just a regular looking grizzly bear, and he's the cranky villager type, but he's very friendly and almost jovial, which is not really what this personality type used to be like. But the one thing that Grizzly always talks about is like how his bones ache and how, I better not stick him down in the fossil exhibit at the museum. So it seems like the cranky villager type is no longer cranky, but just old is what they're going for. Like kind of, I've got several years on you, you better respect me, youngster kind of thing. But they don't at all come across as irritable or unfriendly. In Wild World, I saw this clip the other day of a cranky villager calling the player a raging fathead, which made me die laughing. But the cranky villagers just don't have any edge to them anymore. They never say anything mean to you. And I know it's strange to kind of really desire a mean villager, but it just to me makes the gameplay a little bit more rich. I don't know, because it seems like the target audience for these games has not really changed. So I don't know why it seems like with the character dialogue and stuff, they're trying to cater to and appeal to a younger audience. So like maybe little kids don't want to be bullied by their villagers. But other aspects of the game seem like they're more suited toward older players. Like to me, in New Horizons, the crafting system appeals to older players, and the having to progress the game by developing the island adds a layer of maybe difficulty to the game, which would appeal to older players more than young players. So it doesn't make a lot of sense why they've made certain choices. With my human redesign of Kabuki, I really like how he turned out this kind of like, I drew him cranky. I drew him looking moody and not friendly like the cranky villagers are now. I decided to do some of the red face paint as his bangs and give him a little eye makeup, and I think he looks really awesome. So here is the finished drawing of Kabuki. And now we're finally coming up to my number one favorite villager of all time. This is another dog, like Lucky. I really like dogs in real life, so it's not surprising to me that 2 dogs have slipped into my top 6. Of all of my animal reimaginings, so like drawing them as they appear in the game, just as in my style, this is my favorite that I've done. I think that the way I drew her is really, really cute. This villager has a simple design, so you can probably tell that a lot of my top favorites are not really, that unique. And in terms of their design, I like the simple designs, the simple color palettes. So maybe you can't tell right off the bat who this villager is. It's not Goldie. A lot of folks really like Goldie. This is Daisy. Daisy has been in a couple of my Animal Crossing games over the years, but she was one of my original villagers from the GameCube version of the game. So when I first booted up the game, created my profile, stepped off of the train, Daisy was already in my village, and she was the first one that I really liked. She's obviously a normal type villager, and back in the GameCube version, the normal type really came across as quite shy and meek and bashful. And so whenever Daisy would run around and kick the ball in the village, it just broke my heart with how cute it was, because she was this meek, shy villager, and watching her get happy and excited over kicking the little ball around was so sweet. And I know that's such a strange and specific memory, but that's what makes these games really special to me, is not like the gameplay features and the story progression. It's those cute little moments with the villagers when they're doing something really funny. So Daisy eventually moved away, and she lived in my village for years. And when she moved away, I was like devastated. I loved her so much, but obviously you go through phases in your life where you're not playing very much. Like, I haven't booted up the GameCube version of this game in probably a year or more. So it's kind of to be expected. Your villagers are going to move away. And I was really upset. But several more years passed, and she actually moved back into my town. Of course, the game's not sophisticated enough for the villagers to remember that they used to live there, so it was like I was starting all over again with her, like she didn't know who I was. But I didn't mind, because it was like getting to, have a first impression and meet your best friend all over again. So Daisy's actually still in my GameCube version Animal Crossing Village. As long as she didn't move away again, she's still there, and she is my favorite villager of all time. For her human redesign, I decided to mix it up a little bit. I basically made her outfit just her regular fur colors, but I gave her, she wears a kitty tee, and that's the name of her shirt, and so I decided to make her kitty tee into this giant scarf, because she's shy, and I want her to kind of have her face covered up like she's bashful. And here she is all done. I think she turned out really, really cute. And she is the number one favorite villager of mine. And I'm going to quickly go back through. We have Kabuki at number 2, Gal at number 3. We have Lucky at number 4, and Ketchup and Poncho at the 5 and 6 spots. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.